Get ready for big hair, bigger guitars, and some of the most iconic rock songs of all time. Hairball is bringing their high-energy tribute show to Denver's historic Paramount Theater this Friday. Earlier, Kelly caught up with one of the band's lead singers, Patrick Stone, to talk all about the rock legends they channel on stage.
Patrick, I am so excited to be talking to you. For anyone who's never seen Hairball before, can you explain the experience?
It's like being a teenager and going to a concert in the 70s, because our production is up to par with what they were doing then, with the pyro and the costumes. And then above and beyond all of that, we've got all the modern tech too. So we have LED walls. So it's just a fully immersive experience of everything from the late 60s to the late 80s and everything that was good in rock and roll. And the audience too is just as energetic and as excited as they were back in the day, because we bring it like back in the day. So it's like stepping into the past and into the future at the same time, sharing in a beautiful, wonderful, loud experience with everybody that shows up.
I love that. Okay, so you've been with the band for about a year now. What's been the most surprising thing about touring?
Just how wonderful the whole crew and the band is. I've just found that I've got a whole new family. We're all just so supportive of each other. So that's really the coolest thing. And then surprising, of course, like I just mentioned, just the fact that we are kind of recreating something that was done some of the stuff was 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago. And to see these young faces singing along every lyric to the songs that came out then that we grew up with is just so mind-blowing. It's wonderful.
Y'all cover some of the biggest rock icons of all time. Kiss, Queen, the list goes on. What goes into transforming into those legends on stage?
A lot of studying. It's like method acting, you know what I mean? I have to watch a lot of interviews and performances from each character that I represent. And I just try to connect with that spirit, you know? I try to think the way they thought, you know? If I'm walking out on stage as David Lee Roth, I like to pretend that I just slept with 10 women last night. When I'm coming out as Ozzy, I've got to put on an English accent and kind of almost pretend to be evil and disoriented at times. You know, he was just such a mystery. So it's really just, trying to step into the shoes of those characters, you know, and just be as authentic as we possibly can for the audience to experience it that way.
Oh, that's just so cool. So one of my favorite things is the costume changes. But how hectic does that get backstage?
Oh, super hectic. It's so crazy. I mean, there's underwear flying everywhere. There's things that you never thought you would see are going on all the time. And honestly, you don't notice any of it because you're just so focused on getting every last little piece of the costumes ready. You know, our costumes are so well designed and so well created, well recreated from what they really were. So, you know, every button's got to be correct. Every little piece of jewelry has to be exactly where that character wore them. So you're just really trying to be as meticulous as you can before running out on stage, and then of course then the performance aspect of it is overwhelming as well. And it's just so exciting, and the audience feeds off of that. You can feel the excitement in us, and they reciprocate 110%.
Oh, that's so great. Why do you think classic rock continues to resonate so strongly with an audience of all ages?
I don't know. I think it's just the attitude and the outlook on life that everybody had back then. You know, it was just a different thing. Everybody wasn't overanalyzing everything. It was just, let's get through this together. Let's think about positive things. Let's lift ourselves off of the ground and out of our everyday lives. Let's go to another planet together and just share this wonderful feeling of everything's going to be all right. Let's conquer it all together. There's just all of that nostalgia that just makes it so special.
I think it's a nostalgia for sure. Okay, Let's say someone's on the fence about coming to the show at the Paramount tomorrow. What do you say to convince them?
Just don't be lame. Get out there. Yeah. Come on. Be where the party is. Like, forget everything today, and come and be with us tonight, and leave this place and be in the world that we're in for 2 hours. We will take you so far away from all your problems. You'll be grateful.
Okay, one last question for you before we let you go, Patrick. What's your favorite artist to be? Who's your favorite artist? I know that's tough.
It's such an impossible question, and it gets harder and harder every time I do
course.
a new character. Yeah, it depends on the night. You know, it depends on I might connect with one 5-year-old girl in the front row, and that's gonna make it special. I pulled up a
Totally.
girl at the show in where were we last weekend? We were in Wisconsin, and I pulled up this little tiny girl, and I put her on my shoulders as I was playing Ozzy, and it was kind of like this Randy Rhoads Ozzy moment, and she was just losing her mind, you know. And then that got me to pick up all the kids that I could find, and all of a sudden we had like 5 or 6 young people up there, and I hand the microphone to this little girl, and she sings the lyrics to an Ozzy song. It's like, how does she know these lyrics? And then I hand another girl the vapor gun, the smoke gun, and she's up there blowing it and just watching her just get into that experience, you know. And I just happened to be Ozzy at that time. But any given night, you just, it's really the audience. It's just finding that somebody that is just so in it with you, and they're going through something, and you're helping them to just breathe that energy. And you know, it's different every night. Every character kind of brings its own special thing, so it's hard to pick just one.
I get you, Patrick. You are such a delight. Thank you so much for talking to us today. I'm so excited for y'all. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon. Thanks
Thank
again,
you so much
Patrick.
for having me.
Hairball is playing their Balls to the Wall tour live at the Paramount Theater tomorrow, January 16th. The show starts at 8 p.m. and you can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.